What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the walkthrough. So we're going to continue today in the winter DLC, and we're going to start by completing some of those offshoot paths that we kind of ignored earlier on. So let us warp to, we're actually going to start here at this second bonfire, the abandoned dwelling. And we're going to go to that bridge area that we skipped before, where there's a new opening after thawing out the area. The quickest way, I think, to get there is to start at this bonfire that we just started at, and then go. We do have to run past some enemies, unfortunately, but it's not too bad. And we want to go through this crack in the wall to the right, drop down here. We're going to avoid all these enemies, even though they're going to shoot projectiles at us. And this gets us right back to where the bridge was. So there's where we're going, right in front of us. And again, took some hits, but nothing too horrendous. And here we are. We heal up with a life gem. So in here we have a new enemy type. They're like these hedgehog, porcupine looking things. Very reminiscent of the bone wheels in Dark Souls 1, and just in terms of how they roll at you and they do bleed damage. See what they're doing there? That's kind of how they operate. Very annoying. This weapon may not be the best weapon for them, because it's best to have like a sweeping type attack. And if you use the R1 to sweep, sometimes the swing is actually above where they are on the ground and it doesn't hit them. But nonetheless, I'm going to continue to use this weapon. We'll see. It should be all right. All right, so there's a couple items over here. Picked them up. Or we haven't picked them up yet. We got a golden fruit bomb, monastery charm. And so over here is where we want to go next. Actually about to get invaded. There's a couple more of these hedgehog enemies and some loot as well. So I'm going to pick up the twilight herb. Another one of these here. And even if you just touch them, the bleed buildup starts. It is kind of annoying. We got another one here. There's an invader that's going to spawn right out in this clearing. But before we fight the invader, we want to get this guy back here, because otherwise he can come out and ruin our fun. Got an old growth bomb right there as well. If you run out and fight this guy over here, see those guys up there? They're going to be shooting at us as well. So we want to kind of get him down to fight him 1 versus 1. The best way to actually hit him is to hit him when he's trying to cast a spell, because otherwise he's going to roll away from you. I feel like I'm heavy rolling right now. Am I heavy rolling? It feels like I am. After this, I'm going to check my equipment load here. Almost got him. I might be imagining things. I don't know. But we're going to see. All right. Invader is vanquished. Okay, no, I'm fine. I don't know. Maybe did he? He may have cast a spell that was causing me to roll slower. I don't know. All right, so we got the invader. Gonna go all the way across. As you might think, that door is locked. We're gonna unlock it later. We got another one of our friends over here. Take him out. Got some amber herbs over here. A life gem up. He dropped from above. He's probably gonna come over here. We'll take him out. Oh, or not. But you can see how those things can get dangerous real quick. I'm just gonna go up the ladder. There's a door over there that we can't open yet. While we're being sniped relentlessly. Looks like one of them fell down. So I'm actually going to go back down and get that one because, well, now this one fell down too, because they can still pester us. This is the one that was sniping us from above before when we were trying to beat the Invader. But in this case, happened to drop down to join the fun. So back up the ladder. There's another one up top sniping us. That one's kind of being a nuisance. You can drop down as well. Let me see if I can lure him to get down. Sometimes he does drop down, sometimes he doesn't. Might need a little bit of persuasion. Or not, just be stubborn. That's fine too. Okay. I'm gonna open up this chest. Shoot something at me. Alright, pick up the bolt stones. And around here, that's our progression. We're going to go through there in just a bit. And in here is our bonfire. And a light, not rest. Over here, the stairs are out. Can't go up. Out here, we have some magic stones. Now we're going to go back to that room that I showed you earlier. That's the progression route. And this is an interesting encounter that we have up here. Oh, just drop down. There we go. See? You're going to take it out. Then we're going to repair. All right. Very nice. So up here, you have a knight. Appears to be friendly, but notice you can lock on to him. You can lock on, not a friendly NPC. Just gonna say, that's the rule. I don't make the rules, but that's just how things work around here. If you remember from the Fire DLC, this is the same guy that invaded us and lured us down into that curse pit. So this is the same guy, and he tries to trick you and trap you here as well. So we're going to take him out. He's wondering what the heck's going on. Eventually we're going to hit him. If you're not careful, he's going to backstab you when you walk away, and then he's going to lure you into a trap. Okay, let's see. There we go. Whoops. Do another jump attack. Nope, 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 nope. Dang it, he got away. Dadgummit. You let him get away. I haven't opened the door yet, so you can't get all the way away. He tries to lure you to an area where there's a tough enemy, and then if he gets away, you have to fight him and that enemy at the same time. So what he wants you to do is he wants you to open this, he wants you to pull this lever to open up this gate. And then there's a mini boss in this area. And what he wants to do is when you open this gate, he runs away, he runs straight through here, and then he camps by the mini boss. And then you have to fight the mini boss and him at the same time. So best to take him out before you get there. He is not friendly in any which way. Taking him out does not mess up your game at all. In fact, you actually kind of have to beat him. So that's what we do. And this next enemy that we're going to fight is actually another covetous demon. So the thing about the covetous demon, he is weak to strike damage, which is what our weapon does. So I'm going to go ahead and use the rapier against it again. And this is basically just a reskin of an old boss, so I don't care that I'm kind of cheesing him. Doesn't really bother me at all because, again, it's a reskin. Not exactly a compelling fight by any stretch. So, but if you don't kill that guy that we just killed, you'll be fighting him down here along with this frozen covetous demon. So I'm going to use flame weapon. We're going to have at it. All right, buddy. He's got his roll attack as before. You see, we are melting his health bar. Gonna heal up. Got hit by that second roll. Make sure you don't get grabbed. Or eaten, I should say. Almost got him. Need to make sure that I don't die though, so I'm gonna be super conservative with my healing. And there we have it. So that being done, I'm going to go ahead and put my hammer back on. Just did that because he is weak to the strike damage, or rather resistant to the strike damage. And he drops the Ivory Warrior Ring, which makes your attacks reduce enemy stamina. And there are some hedgehogs coming out for us. Take them out, and there's a bunch of loot on the floor here. Lots of goodies. Pretty nice weapon, large club +8, already mostly upgraded. All right, and that is it. So we're gonna head out of here. Take this path upwards. We find ourselves at another crossroads here. We're going to take the left path first. It's going to open up that shortcut from that locked door, kind of where we fought the Invader. Here we are, back here. So we're going to proceed the other direction, which is going to take us to where we want to go next. So here we have more of the stone golems. You see that one in the back is kind of already activated. But the other ones, as long as we kill the enemies far enough away, we can get the stone golems without being activated. Now, why don't you just come over here? All the way over here. Stop rolling while you're at it. There we go. All right, so we can take this one out. Unanimated. There we go. Go on repair. So we'll take out this guy next. He moves faster than I thought. One more hit. Got him. That was a little bit risky. Oops. Don't want to be fighting the hedgehog and the golem at the same time. It's a recipe for disaster. Oh, got me with that exaggerated swing there. And these guys are not to be trifled with. They do have a grab attack. It doesn't do a whole heck of a lot of damage, but what their grab attack does do is it restores some of their HP as well, if they do land the grab attack. Oh, I was hoping that would kill him. There we go. Where did the hedgehog go? Is he all the way over there now? All right, so that one is not active yet. Over here, we got some charcoal pine resin. All right, come on, buddy. I'm not going to activate the golems. I'm going to kill you all the way out here. There we go. Ah. Couldn't voice through that attack, sadly. Oh, that's the grab. And I feel like, man. I don't know. Probably not the best hitbox. What do you guys think? I don't know. I feel like I should have had the roll there. Get me out of the way. There we go. Now we're going to go up this elevator after we pick up the Pharaoh's Lock Stone. And this takes us to the other side of the broken bridge. And here we are. You'll notice there's a snowball up there. There are also enemies on this bridge. You shoot the snowball, it comes tumbling down. First, we got to take care of this guy. There we go. This actually creates the shortcut across the bridge. The snowball does. Check this out. There are actually items down there. We're going to get those items when we go across the bridge. So just know. We're going to get those in just a bit. First, we have business up here to take care of. We have our last Aleum Lois Knight that we need to rescue before the boss fight. Whoops, too short. These guys drain so much of my freaking health. It's ridiculous. And see, I took a little bit of damage there just from being next to him. All right. The corpse over there with an item. It's some more of the balm. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use a repair powder. And I left a pinned comment on one of my earlier videos. You can, if instead of using a repair powder, you can use the herbs that we get to restore your spells. For whatever reason, if I have the repair powders and if I'm out of the miracle or the sorcery rather, repair powder is just easier to use rather than having to use the item and then cast the spell. You know what I mean? But you can go about it either way. All right, careful not to slip off here. Got some vine balm. A little bit of a hit there. All right, so go all the way up. And here we are. This is the third of the knights that we need to rescue. And we're golden. So now what we need to do before we fight the boss is there's that area that had the sconces that we need to light up. We do need to go back there because we haven't done that yet. Make sure that you follow the path down, because if you try to drop down, you're going to die. You think you might be able to slide down the snow, but you can't. It does not break your fall. So you got to go down carefully. All right, as I mentioned, we shot the snowball so that it rolled down. If you don't have a bow to shoot it with, you can get up there next to it and just knock it down with your weapon like normal. But over here there are some weapons, or rather some item pickups. Well, that is a weapon, so I wasn't wrong. There we go. So now we're gonna traverse on foot to where we're going next. It's probably quicker, maybe, than warping. This place that we're going to next isn't exactly right next to a bonfire. So we're just gonna go there the old-fashioned way on foot. Because the area that we're going to next is right before you drop down to that second bonfire. All right. Just running past everything. Might take a couple hits, but not a big deal. Almost got hit there. All right, so we're gonna pop a flame butterfly, get our torch going. Very simple puzzle, quite obvious. All right, so in here there are 2 of the flexile sentries, which is what makes this part a little bit dangerous. Fortunately, I mean, it's fairly easy to dodge their attacks. And then take your shots when you have an opening. Come on. Got hit there. That's fine. Come on. And done. So right here is a pretty obvious fake wall. You can go up here. Got a bunch of these enemies in here. I think if you leave them alone, they don't attack you. I usually end up attacking them anyways. But I'm going to experiment. I'm going to see if you leave them alone, if they leave you alone. Over here we have a human effigy. And you have another flexile sentry down here. Right there, that's what we want. This is the key that we need. Yeah, they do attack you anyways. So it is, in fact, better to attack them preemptively. But what we wanted is back here anyways. So we have what we came here for. The garrison ward key. We need that to access the final area of this DLC, which is what we're going to handle in the next episode. Widely regarded as, I'm not going to lie, perhaps the worst area in all of Dark Souls. And I tend to agree with that assessment. Honestly. Oh, the sentry's back there. Coming after me now. All right, well, I'll handle you in just a bit. Let me heal up first. There we go. All right, come back. Ooh, getting testy with me. Come on. What you backing away for? What you backing away for? Okay, there you go. Now you're hitting me. One more hit. 2 for the price of 1. All right, and I managed to get away without using another repair powder. Okay, so perfect. So out of here, we don't need to walk back. We could just use our handy dandy feather. Get out of here. I'm going to put Sunlight Blade back on. Because we are using our hammer for the next fight. And I'll leave repair on as well. We're probably going to need repair. So what we want to do now is warp to the bonfire where Alsana is. This is going to take us to where the next boss is. So, this boss is kind of in 2 phases. So, the first phase is kind of, it's a skirmish with a bunch of the Aleum Lois Knights, except they're charred because they've been down there in the chaos with the burnt Ivory King. So, now we have all 4 of our allies ready to help us, and we want all 4 of them, and you'll see why. So what you want to do is drop in to the mist. And there's different varieties of these charred Aleum Lois Knights. There's like a pyromancer version, a version with a sword, and a version with an axe, I believe. And they come out of these portals. So what our allies are going to do is after a certain amount of time, or after, I don't know if it's time-based or enemy-based, where eventually our allies are going to seal these portals so these charred knights stop coming after us. And they're going to help us fight them as well during this phase of the fight. So we need to kill all these charred ones that come out. And these charred knights have the chance of dropping a Lois soul. All right. And they, you know, once the gates are sealed, they stop spawning. And so the thing is if you give these Lois souls to the queen, you get extra rewards. You basically get their armor. And then if you give her 50, which means you have to do quite a bit of farming to get to the 50. And I have no intentions of getting to the 50, by the way, in this playthrough. I'm just saying, if you get to 50, I'm almost dead here. If you get to 50, then she gives you her soul. You can also get her soul. Ah, wow, I did die. If you get to 50, she'll give you her soul. You can also get her soul just by, after this fight, you can snipe her. But also getting the 50 souls, I believe, allows you to like walk up to her, actually walk up the stairs to her. So that's kind of how it works. So you need them to keep spawning in order to get those 50 souls, which means you more or less, the way to do that is to, once the boss spawns in, because the gates are sealed off and you've killed enough of them or whatever the trigger point is, once the boss spawns in and the gates are sealed, you're going to want to quit out and reset the fight to keep farming those souls. And it takes, as I said, it takes 50 of them to get her soul. And along the way, you're also going to get the armor set as well. So just so you know, that is a thing that exists. But I will not be doing it because it is not required for anything. It is not, her soul is not required for anything trophy related. And if it were, I would just kill her for the soul. I wouldn't farm the Lois souls. All right, so now since I don't have to ramble on about these Lois souls, I can actually focus on the fight and hopefully survive this time. The pyromancers are probably the most dangerous ones because they can hit you from way far away. Fortunately, I got my buddies here to help me. And I got my hammer that allows me to hit 3 of them literally at the same time, which is amazing. So you see, this guy is sealing off the gate. We got 2 gates left. And oftentimes the boss will spawn in before the 3rd gate is sealed, by the way. Here the boss is spawning in. We only have 1 gate sealed. So you guys get over here and seal the other gates, because fighting the boss, it's manageable with 1 gate unsealed, but it's much more difficult with 2 gates left unsealed. And here's where I typically buff up. We see, nope, it's a charred Lois armor, not the soul. So I'm gonna go on and buff up. And okay, got the 2nd gate sealed. And the boss is in as well. The burnt Ivory King. So he's kind of the main attraction at this point in time. Now they got my buffs on, I'm hitting much harder. And there's the boss, but we also have enemies in the room. But fortunately, since some of my allies are in here, the boss's aggro is kind of diverted a bit. You see, we're doing very, very hefty damage. And these Lois Knights have HP. So you want to make sure that they don't die before the gates are sealed. So it looks like we got the last gate being sealed off. We got the last Lois Knight in here helping me with the boss. And he's buffing his weapon now. As for the next phase of the fight, he's got much more range now. You see his blade has like a beam that comes off of it now, which effectively gives him way more range. So you got to be careful. And if you get his soul after this fight, you can actually get this sword, and it has the beam on it. The problem is if you use the beam, it costs a lot of durability. That's the trade-off. But it's a very cool weapon if you decide to use it. All right, my last ally got defeated. So it's just me versus the boss. Got maybe 1 or 2 more hits left, and then we're done. Very cool fight. Very atmospheric. We dove down here into the chaos. Take care of business. Got the soul of the Ivory King. Very cool atmosphere. So is this the bed of chaos? Like where you fight, you know, the boss in Dark Souls 1? Possibly. This seems like a kind of the source of the chaos here. That this city was built to encompass so it couldn't escape. All right, got the crown of the Ivory King while we're at it. If you wear this crown, it has like an HP restoration effect. And this is the 3rd crown. We've got all 3 crowns now, by the way. All right, so we can warp out of here. So again, I don't think we got any of the Lois souls. It is a random drop. But if you want those 50 Lois souls, be my guest. You're going to be there for a while doing that. So we got the soul. Of the Ivory King. The proud Ivory King was ever merciful and devoted himself to the protection of his great land until he was devoured by the flames of chaos. The wondrous soul of this great king can be used. We can also now talk with Alsana again.
You've granted my one wish. Now, I have no regret. I was born amidst the dark. Long ago, in the depths of the abyss, my father perished. The dark shattered into tiny pieces, one of which was me. How frightened I was. A frail thing. I felt that I might simply... I am, in fact, the incarnation of my father's fear. I saw that the king of this land was strong. I sought him only to sustain myself. Now, I realize that he may have known all along. I was born of fear, and my Lord provided comfort. And so, here I remain, heiress to my Lord's wishes, watching over chaos. Until the end of the Knights of Lois were swallowed by where their souls still I pray for their deliverance. The Knights of where their souls I pray for their deliverance.
All right, so a lot of lore just dumped on us. Like the other queens and the other DLCs, she was born from the dark after her father, presumably Manus, perished. The dark shattered into pieces. One of those fragments turned into her. We've heard that story before, so she is one of them. So she sought the king to help kind of herself to assuage her fear. She said she was born out of fear. But while, you know, he was down there, she watched over the chaos, and she said that at the end there that she wants kind of deliverance for the Elam Lois Knights souls. It's like I said before, if you go down in there and get those Lois souls, if you give her 50, she gives you her soul. You can also, I believe, if you snipe her from here, you can get her soul. I'm not going to do that. She actually seems like she's maybe a bit more benevolent, more actually genuine than the other fragments of dark that turned into the evil queens. She actually had a job to do, and she did it well. So, you know, maybe she did actually watch over her people and has some aspects of virtue about her character. So, you know, I'm going to leave her alone. But if you want her soul, you can farm the Lois souls, or you can kill her. So I'll leave that up to you. All right, so finally, now that we have all of the crowns, we're going to go back and pay Vendrick another visit. Because it seemed like the other queens are just purely selfish. At least for her, it seemed like she has some sort of sense of duty. And despite the fact that she was born out of fear, she showed, you know, some semblance of courage. You know, kind of fighting against her nature a little bit, if you will. And I can have sympathy for that. And a bunch of souls too. Probably should spend them. All right, so now that we have all 3 crowns from the DLCs, we can visit Vendrick one more time.
One day fire will fade, and dark will become. Men will be free from death. Dark will again be ours. We can bury the false legends of yore. Is this our only seeker of fire? Coveter, seek. The rest.
All right, so now we're kicked out. There's no more memory of Vendrick that we can go in. I don't believe we can go back. Now that we've done that, you look at our equipment in the King's Crown. This is heat radiates from the ancient crown of Vendrick. If you put this on, it keeps you from going hollow. Like if you actually die, the curse effect doesn't happen. As long as you're wearing it. All right, very cool. So let us go back, spend these souls. So we have the 3 crowns, but we still technically have a little bit left in the final DLC, which we're going to handle in the next episode. We have the Frigid Outskirts. We're gonna have ourselves a good bit of fun in there. But that's gonna have to wait till next time. All right, so let us level up. So I'm gonna go for 50 vigor. That's kind of the soft cap. If we get there. Okay, and that's where we're gonna leave things for this time. So thanks for following along. Hope you guys are enjoying yourselves. And we're getting to the home stretch. We're getting to the home stretch. There's only a little bit of game left, but there's still quite a bit when it comes to preparing for trophies and all that type of stuff. I'm going to cover all of that for those of you who are seeking to get the platinum trophy, if that's your goal. If not, you know, there's just a couple bosses left and then we're done. So anyways, hope to see you guys again next time. Stay tuned. We'll see you then. Until then, take care.